Welcome to Stand Up, a Pitt Meadows podcast.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. My guest today is one of the best ultra-endurance athletes in the world. He's here to tell us his incredible life story and how to implement practical steps to pursue your dreams and reach your goals, no matter how lofty they may seem. Plus, I'm featuring a warm and beautiful R&B song called Songbirds Like the Secrets of the Cage at the end of the interview. You'll want to stick around to hear this one. Thanks for pressing play. Let's get it started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stand Up Podcast, a podcast about mental health, resiliency, and music. My guest today is a fellow Canadian who is of truly elite company, a man who has pushed his mind, body, and spirit to heights few people have ever experienced. He is a professional athlete who specializes in triathlons and ultra marathons. On May 20th, 2022, he completed an event so epic and grueling that only 3 people in the world have ever done it, the EPICDECA, which is 10 triathlons in 10 days on 6 Hawaiian islands. Like what? I can barely do the color run at my kid's school. He is also a 10-year veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces, an integrated engineer, naturopathic practitioner, philanthropist, author, father, and owner of the Hungry Warrior Academy, sponsored by Specialized Canada and Precision Fuel and Hydration. Please welcome from Quebec, Mr. JD Tremblay.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, buddy. JD, it's so good to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, JD, tell me, where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
Yeah, I grew up in the northern part of Quebec, a small town called Arvida. So it's there's many small towns in my place, and it's called Lac Saint-Jean. So there's a lot of little village around, and that's where I grew up. So I grew up French Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's probably beautiful. When you look on a map of Quebec, there's so many lakes up there. So it must have been a really beautiful town. Nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I grew up on the outdoor for sure.
Yeah. What was your childhood like? Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 3 brothers. And no sisters. Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up really in quite a manly environment.
Right.
My mom had to put up with it. Yeah, only man.
Love it. Did you have any heroes growing up?
No, I did not. I did not have any heroes. I always lived my life in the sense that I wanted to make my own video games, or I wanted to be my own protagonist. That's the way that I always lived my life. If I had a dream, I would live my dream, not necessarily have a superhero in mind.
Right, got it. Well, having the outdoors right there is like, just go run around and play, right?
Yeah, my dad was big into that for sure. He was always telling us, no video games, just go play outside. And I remember not being too comfortable with that decision. But now that I have a kid, I live the same lifestyle. My kid doesn't like it at all since there's no video games in the house, but he'll get to enjoy it when he's older.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I can barely get my kid off Roblox right now. It drives me crazy. So, yeah. Keep that away.
Yeah, for sure.
Was there a defining moment that made you realize you wanted to push your physical limits?
Yeah, it all came with different aspect of life. The first one was, I was bullied a lot in school as a kid, and then my parents got divorced when I was 14 years old. So really, when you're that young and you don't have any other opportunities, so I turned there's a lot of people that turn to negative treatments such as drugs or alcohol, and I turned to the military. I thought that the military would give me discipline, which they didn't. They just gave me a structure and a system, and when you follow it, then to a certain degree, then you acquire the discipline. And so that was the first defining moment that I wanted more. I wanted a healthy lifestyle, or healthier. And yes, I understand the military isn't the easiest path, but it's it was much easier than being bullied, having no friends, and having a family that was looking for their own journey. So yeah, so I chose the military. So that was the first defining moment.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I mean, that's intimidating because you know you're going to get your ass kicked when you go in there, right? So, and you spent 10 years there too. Were you ever deployed anywhere, or were you always just stationed in the Quebec area?
No, I was never stationed in Quebec at all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was really a difficult part of my life because now you're 17 years old. You learn English, but in school in Quebec, learning English is you learn the basics of it.
Right,
So
right.
going into the military, it was a lot of a lot more bullying than I was expecting. With the Frenchie or frogs, or they were calling us
Really?
all sorts of names. So you either adapt to the situation, or and then it just builds you up, right? Like there's see the whole message of my life has been, well, here's the trauma, here's the difficulty, don't dwell too much on the trauma, here, use it as some form of trampoline to get to the next stage of your life, and then use all the skills that you've learned and all the resiliencies that you've learned to build something greater, not just for yourself but for the people around or the people listening.
Yeah.
So
And can you tell me a little bit about your first triathlon? You did it when you were still at university, right?
yeah, I did. My first triathlon was in the military. I was going through a divorce, and all I had was my bicycle. So I was cycling to work, and one of the guy that was working with me, he said, "JD, you know how to swim, you know how to run, and clearly you know how to bike because you're biking all the time to work." So
That's true, right? Okay.
yeah, so I jumped into a triathlon. I was really prideful on the first one because I did not want to get into triathlon because I had this mentality of, if you're not first, you're last. Somehow the Ricky Bobby
The
mentality.
Ricky, right?
So I jumped into my first triathlon. That was a sprint distance. So the umbrella of triathlon is swimming, biking, and running, and then you have multiple distances. So one of those distances is a sprint. So you finish it in roughly about an hour and a half, or the pros would finish it just under an hour. And then you have other distances. And one of them was the Ironman distance. So that's when I got to university. So I had left the military, got into university, and then I thought that I had to just be an engineer and not work out. I was seeing all the kids in my school. I mean, I called them kids because they were much younger. And these people were not working out. These people were just partying, and I was not into it. So I decided to jump into triathlon. And I went into Tremblay was my first one. Did my first Ironman there. And then it just snowballed from that point on. I did a few Ironman and Ultraman, which is double the distance of an Ironman. And it's not until, again, 2022 that I jumped into the EPICDECA.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that in a second. But can you just go over just what a triathlon is, and then what an Ultraman is as well? Because I think people forget about how amazing those distances are.
For sure. So triathlon is swimming, biking, and running, as I explained, and you have several distances. One of them that people might be aware of is the Olympic distance, which is on the news and the Olympics, and then you have some triathletes that are competing in the Olympic distance. One of those distances is an Ironman. An Ironman in Canada, so we'll use the metric system, is 3.8 kilometers of swimming, and then you hop on your bike and cycle 180 kilometers, and then you go running for a full marathon, which is 42 kilometers.
Yeah.
So that's an Ironman. The Ultraman, there are a few around the world, and give or take, it's about double the distance of an Ironman, and over the span of 3 days with 12-hour cutoffs per day. So give or take the distances. Now for the EPICDECA, we had to complete 10 Ironmen in 10 days on all 6 Hawaiian islands. So there was 10 people registered for this race. 6 people were on the start line, and only 3 finished the race. And I am the only Canadian in history to have completed that race.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. One of the things I thought was really cool, if you could explain like your training leading up to it, because you kind of were thinking about it, and then a friend of yours, I think, couldn't go. So then you took his spot, and then it was in the wintertime, you were with your son. Can you explain a little bit about the training you were doing with your son?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was training in the northern part of Quebec. It was the end of January, and the race was only in May. One of my buddies said on Facebook, Joe Jave, he said, I got hit by a car. I have difficulty walking. I won't be able to complete or even compete in the EPICDECA. So I messaged him in private and said, can I buy the registration from you? And he said, yes, of course. He already knew me, what I have accomplished with Ironmans and Ultramans around the world. So he said, yes, I'll sell it to you if the organizer approves of it. Then I was training already with my kid. So I'm a single dad. I was in the northern part of Quebec. So I was building a harness with a sled with some rope, and then I would be climbing with snowshoes at minus 30 degrees weather up a mountain with my kid in the back, bringing a lot of very comfortable blankets so for him to be comfortable. And when he wanted, he was removing the blanket, putting them in the sled, and then jumping in the snow and playing with branches. So my son always loved the outdoor, and he's definitely an outdoor kid for sure.
That's so cool. And then didn't you raise the height of your poles, the ski poles, to mimic kind of like a full length of swimming, because you weren't able to practice the swimming or the training for the swimming as well?
Yeah, because the swimming pools were all closed in my region during that time. So I decided to improvise, and I changed the poles to, again, use the same muscle groups while I was training. And that really helped, because when I got into Texas to train right before the EPICDECA, so for a month I spent a month in Texas to train for the EPICDECA, and it was only swimming and cycling, no running, and other than the events leading up to it. Then it really helped, because now my muscles were already knowing what the job was, so I did not have to warm them up, so to speak.
What kind of mental preparation were you doing? How do you mentally prepare for something like that?
Well, definitely knowing the task and being prepared is part of the mental game. So I was looking over every single step. If I had missed anything, I was testing my equipment to make sure that I was in the confident period, not in the arrogant period.
Right.
So, well, there's a lot of people, they just jump into those events and then
I got this, I'm in shape, right? Yeah.
And that's quite arrogant to do so. So I was more leaning into the confident phase, because I understood my equipment, I had tested it, and that was part of the mental preparation that would be providing me with the best set of data to be able to complete the task.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your engineering background helped you? Because I know that you were really going over the maps and understanding the course itself, because that's quite a course, 6 islands. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the military helped. The engineering background definitely helped also. I created a 29-page report that was before AI came out that you can build within a second.
Right.
So I built a 29-page of what could go wrong, what are my limitations, what to do in an emergency, because we all behave differently. So some people, they yell at each other when they're angry, or some people, they get really quiet and they don't speak. So I had to make sure that my team understood how I would react in advance and what was necessary for me to accomplish the task. So how were they going to do their task? So that's how it helped me. Another part was I use really concepts that are in engineering, but that many people see it more as a natural phase. And so the scientific method was definitely part of it. So creating a plan was part of it, then strategizing. So I broke down each component and into systems such as, let's say, the bike. And then my bike, I said, I need this type of bike. So I went on Kijiji, which is a platform. It's like the grandfather of marketplace. So
Right. Yeah. It was Kijiji and Craigslist. Those were the two competing ones, right?
So I went on that platform. I purchased an old bike, and the frame was good. And then I changed all the wheels. I changed the seat. I changed everything about the bike except the frame itself. So I had to test it, right? Because so I created that prototype. Then I had to test it. I tested it on a trainer because I was in the northern part of Quebec, so I can't go outside. It's snowy and icy. So when I got to Texas a month prior to the EPICDECA, that's when I was really testing out the prototype, and then I had to implement it, which a lot of people are always in the loop of testing, but I had to take action, and I did with the EPICDECA with that bike. So that was the bike's third race, I guess. Yeah.
So tell me about day one. You're starting there with the 10 people. Like, what island did you start on? And tell me about that first day.
Yeah, we started on Oahu. We went to Waikiki Beach, and it's beautiful. We started with the run for some reason. I'm not familiar as to why we started with the run, but usually it's swimming, biking, and running.
Okay.
For the first 2 days, we did running, swimming, and then biking. And then when we ended with the bike, then we had to take our plane on the second day.
Right.
So it was beautiful. A lot of turtles and at Waikiki Beach. So really enjoyed it. And on the second day, we already had our first guy that dropped from
day two.
On day two, yeah.
Wow.
That dropped from the EPICDECA. It's really warm, and the guy did not train for the heat waves. And for me, I took that into consideration. So tanning was part of my training. So yeah, I had to.
Smart.
Because the sun it's really, really warm over there, and there are each island has their own microclimate, and even the big island has over 20, when you go all the way around, has over 27 microclimates. So
that's
it's island tropical weather, so it changes all the time. So you might be cycling, and then suddenly it's pouring rain, and the next minute or two it's really, really sunny and really hot in your neck. So it's just enough to take away all of your sunscreen.
And you're just baking out there.
Yeah, but for me, I had thought about almost everything. I had spare parts for every single brake on the bike, other than if the frame would break in half, that's when I would have to stop from racing. But otherwise, I had a spare part for everything. I had spare chains. I had spare everything. And I had a bag full of spare parts. And I had so much spare parts that all the other participants in the race, if there was a break in their bike, they would go to my bag and then pick from it. And so,
but you're like, yo, man, I might need that. Like,
yeah, well, they had one guy on the Big Island. He had a puncture. He could have gone back home or back to the Big Island, like the city, get his tire changed, and then hop back. And but he picked from my bag. So
Right.
everybody was just picking from my bag if there was anything. And to me, I thought about everything, even to a point where prior to the race, I had thought about sharks. So
Okay. Yeah.
I paid some guys to drive me out into the ocean where there's a big chunk of sharks, and I jumped in the water with the sharks. I swam with them with no cage.
Oh.
And yeah.
I thought you were in a cage, like, protected. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was offered. Yeah, that was offered. It was another fee, but I said no. I really want to swim with sharks, experience that part, and know how I would react. And when I got to the Big Island, there were some sharks that came. And in my training, they had said very often in Hawaii, the sharks come, and then there's a pack of dolphin that usually comes and chases those sharks away. So I already knew that, and I already knew how to react. So I just kept on going.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Where did you find the time to eat?
Oh, there was there was no formal eating period.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was eating in between the flights. So in the morning, I would be on a plane. There's a picture of me floating around, like even on in my book. I'm in my underwear, and I have a little plastic bowl full of, and I had packed. All of my food was in special bags with just with a lettering and some tape, and just understanding, okay, this is oatmeal, and I've calculated how much I need for 10 days.
Yes. Okay.
I need that type of protein. I had chia seeds, but they were all of them were grinded to make them easier to assimilate for my body. So it was quite the experience going from island to island, and you have to go through custom every single island. So now I'm showing up with all these bags, all these Ziploc bags full of powder. Like, oh, there's a brown powder and another white powder and another white powder. And it's all written what it is on it, but I had to explain why I was doing this. So now I'm in my underwear at the airport, explaining why my face is all burned, and there's bags of powder, and I had one bag that was just my nutrition, full of powder, all separate Ziploc bags, and I'm thinking, what did the custom think about when they saw all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it was like a Sharpie on masking tape, just like on the bag. And then your team beside you being like, no, trust me, it's chia seeds.
Trust me, it's chia seed. Yeah, exactly. Trust me, this is protein powder. And your face is all burned, and your lips is all chapped, and you're looking at the guy in your underwear. Okay.
Oh, man.
So they tested every single bag every single day. Oh yeah, for sure. And then
I love those
when we
details.
got to the island, when I'm cycling, I have my bars that sometimes it holds someone's computer or like a bike computer. For me, I had placed a special bag or a kind of a plastic pot And then my team would put fruits in the plastic
yeah.
pot. And then, so as I'm cycling all of Hawaii. That's pretty much what it is. Then I'm
Right.
picking from fresh fruits from
Okay.
local markets. Like, yeah, I was really enjoying myself. Like, there was
That's awesome.
no complaining here.
So tell me about that last day. What was that feeling at the end, getting close to the finish line? It's the 10th triathlon of the EPICDECA. What was going through your mind then?
Yeah, it was definitely surreal finishing it and thinking, well, I'm probably going to be famous or make money from this. And that's what I thought. And I got to the finish line. The official finish line had to be done only a few hours after. So even though I had finished, I was in the back of a truck. We have pictures of the one that we did. I did it with my crew, 2 people with a safety vest and just crossing the line. Just, yay, we did it. It's done.
Right.
It's over. We stayed in the back of the truck for about a few hours, and then everybody showed up. But again, maybe 15 people showed up when I say everybody. So yeah, so I thought there would be more people, and then finally, well, there was only 15, and then it was not on social media. It was not anywhere. I sometimes have to tell people what the EPICDECA is. Many people have never heard about that race, so it was interesting that now I thought all the marketing is already done. Now I'll just jump right into it and coast. And no, it was that I had to do a lot of work for marketing myself, marketing the what I had to offer or why I was doing this. And so, that the real challenge was not necessarily the EPICDECA. It was to know that it was after the EPICDECA that the challenge would start.
Yeah, and I think that for you too, like you got such a big heart. You wanted to use that notoriety to build on your charities and to continue the work that, you and your organization were doing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And to be able to inspire others, there's so many people out there that are placing limitations on themselves. Sometimes I understand the government or agencies are placing those limitations on yourself from growing or becoming the man that you want to be. But there is always a way to grow, and I wanted to be an inspiration for others. So I use this as a platform to inspire others because there's nothing inherently special about JD Tremblay. I'm just a French Canadian boy who grew up in the northern part of Quebec, and now, yes, I've accomplished a lot of races and a lot of I'm not diminishing what I've accomplished. Like, it was difficult, yes, but I had to have courage, and I did, and I'm quite grateful about all the men that we've helped over the years. So.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
I love going to Starbucks. I'm sick right now, and when I had my s'more frappuccino, I forgot I was sick. And by the way, if you ever need a good drink suggestion, like any kind, comment and I'll tell you. Starbucks, it's a great day for coffee. 3, 2, 1. Ah! Do you hear that? It's a screamer. What's a screamer? It's a Slurpee with layered ice cream. Whoa! Do you want some? Yes, please. It's creamy but delicious. That's my new favorite thing now. You can get a screamer at JV Convenience Store on 228 Dooney Trunk Road in Maple Ridge.
And now, back to the show.
Have you ever considered giving up during a race?
During a race, no. I never considered giving up, but I've reached a point where there is a cutoff, and I haven't met the cutoff. So if you're running for like one Ultraman, I did the swim. I did the bike on the first day. I did not reach the 12-hour cutoff. I saw the finish line. It was right in front of me. I'm still fresh. I'm still good to go, but I had not reached the finish line because of the cutoff. But quitting, no. And that's because if you're going to commit yourself to one thing, then give yourself your best, because there are people that will not give their best and will regret it for the rest of their life, or will try to multitask, and as a result, somebody can die. Right? Like I'm also a firefighter, so I understand this concept very well. That if I don't give myself my 100%, and I'm not focused on the task at hand, I'm starting to think about humanitarian work, my family at home, or there is somebody on the other side of that door that might not make it home for their family. So I have to give myself my 100% if I am inside of a fire, or if I'm inside of an accident where there's multiple cars. I have to react to this specific situation and focus on it. And that's exactly the mentality that I used when I did the EPICDECA. I went into the EPICDECA. I even cut some friends, some very close friends. I called them and I said, we're not going to talk to each other for quite a while. I'm going to do the EPICDECA, and I can't be having someone that is speaking negatively about a certain situation. So I can handle it in some cases, but in this specific moment, I understood that I needed my entire focus on the task, and that's what I did.
I love that. What advice would you say to someone who is struggling mentally?
Well, the best advice I can give anyone, and I had to really come to term with it, and I regret so much not having done this prior, is your values before your goals. Because there's a lot of beautiful goals in life, becoming a musician or a doctor, an engineer, or even an entrepreneur, or even working for somebody else. But if your values, and you're not serious about having some solid values, then every goal can be good, but it can also be your downfall. I could have used the EPICDECA to be extremely prideful and my values, because I'm a Christian man, so it wouldn't have fit my values to be prideful. I'm using it to encourage others and to say there's nothing different about me than you. All you have to do is, here's a step process, here's what you can do. And so by using these values and being serious about it, I'm able to be an inspiration, and that EPICDECA becomes on the good side rather than on the bad side.
What's something you've learned about yourself that surprised you?
That I'm way more prideful than I thought.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought I knew I was prideful. I knew it. And then at one point I said, no, I'm not that prideful. And I'm blocking myself from accomplishing other steps as a result of my pride. So it's definitely something that I have to work on. Yeah.
Well, I think that you become proud. You got to be proud of the accomplishments you've done. I mean, it's quite something. So I think I don't know. You take me as being humble as well as being proud. I don't want to say that you're prideful. I don't know you that well, but yeah. I mean, and your book is all about helping people with their nutrition and understanding their bodies, and then really not trying to be an expert in it, but just trying to get people to investigate their bodies a little bit more, to figure out what foods they need to do and what they need to do to be driven and to achieve their goals as well. So I love that you talked about values before goals. I think that's really, really good. I don't think values get talked about enough.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
So in your book, Hungry for More in Life, you say, anchor yourself where growth is present, otherwise set sail. Can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, there's too much people that are stagnant in their life. And you see, I explained it earlier with my childhood. In my childhood, I was bullied. My parents they were not in a place to help me with my growth and my potential. And as a result, I decided, I was 17 years old. I cannot even buy a pack of cigarettes. Not that I wanted to, but I can't. I cannot even buy alcohol by myself legally, but yet I can go inside of a gas chamber and hold a weapon and go defend my country. And so really, sorry, you'll have to cut that out.
No, it's all good. I like it when there's a bit of silence. It just go for it.
Yeah.
So you're saying just focus on where you know you're going to be able to grow as a person. If you don't think you're going to be able to grow and learn something, then to move on to something else where you're going to be challenged. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. For me, it was my growth potential was massive. As a 17-year-old, you have the whole life in front of you. And I decided this is not helping my growth potential. And so I decided to leave and go into the military. Now, the military is not going to fit for everybody. I'm not recommending people to go into the military at all. It's just in that specific case, it worked for me. And at that moment, it might be a different path for someone, but I'm just showing and explaining that if there's no growth, then you must leave that environment. We're talking about, talk to people that are married for over 25, 30 years, and they are still growing. They're still learning. That adage that says, or the idiom that says, you can't teach an old dog some new tricks, that is not true. We have neuroscience that completely disproved it. It's people that find those excuses and then just stay within their comfort zone, get to expand and go somewhere else and then learn something completely new and then bring it back to your relationships, to your workplace, and always keep growing. That's the mentality of staying hungry.
That's right. Because people get complacent, I think, and they get comfortable and they feel safe and they're content, But
yeah,
you
it's
can
the path
always,
of least resistance.
Right, exactly. Do I call it a company, the Hungry Warrior Academy, or
Yeah, it is a nonprofit organization. Correct. Yeah, for sure.
Your website says you've dedicated your life to helping Christian men crush their battles and rediscover their God-given purpose. So I'm curious, how do you do that? Can you break that down a little bit about how you do that?
Yeah, we have online courses. We have online sessions with multiple experts in their field that will break down certain, sometimes difficult concept, or sometimes they're easy to understand, but they are done in a different way that might suit better certain candidates. We have some in-person where we have one coming up at the end of the year in Florida, where we're taking men that have done all of the steps that leads and qualifies them to get to do the in-person, because we don't just take anyone to go to the in-person, or we're really making sure that the people do the work to get the results, right? We don't work with the smartest people or the one that with the most money, because all of these things can be acquired somehow. We work with people that have the heart and the desire to change and to get a transformation. We're also able to get the results. And so if we're able to provide it, then it's going to be a match.
Yeah, the testimonials are great. Do you deal with people from like addictions and other sorts of challenges that they're dealing with, or do you focus on one thing?
So we do have an expert in addiction that works with us, but again, it's a partnership. So we refer those clients out. So we won't have anybody that works with or we won't work with people that deal with drugs and alcohol. We don't do that. We refer out, and we do have a solid partnership with a professional doctor and an MD that specializes in addictions. We have a strong partnership, and he's a Christian man, but otherwise we deal with behavioral addictions, I would say, because behavioral addictions aren't really as prominent in the news, such as pornography or gambling. Those are all, or even we talked about video game before the call. So that's another one. Well, some of these are addictions that we're all in bondage to, and we're really in bondage to something. So that's how we get to build the person to be in bondage to Jesus rather than to be in bondage to the world or anything that is sinful.
Yeah, is this that quick dopamine hit that usually people are seeking when they're looking for those quick hits? Whether it's pornography or, like you said, gambling or what have you, junk food, whatever it is, it just gives you that quick hit. So I think sometimes people just got to be patient for that hit. It's not going to come right away sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, you talk about patience, but the neuroscience shows it that there are some people, if they've been affected for too long by that type of addiction, such as in the case of pornography. Pornography is one of the worst drugs that any man can indulge in. And what happened is that it blocks the certain receptors in the brain, and you're not able to make those decisions. So if you're not able to make the decisions, or the connection between the parietal and the prefrontal cortex is the link isn't made, then what happened is you're just going off of an image, or you're just going off of your own perception. So you're not capable of making that decision, even at a physiological level. That's not an excuse. Like I said, we have something called neuroplasticity. And so your brain can create new pathways. That's the definition of neuroplasticities. And so we can rewire the brain. It does take time, but not just patience. You need you need a system in place. You need expert, and I think the medical system has its place in society, but it's overused right now. So there are different pathways. There are different ways to do it. A cold shower is one of them. There are other ways to do it, even with natural products, with certain plants. So what we do is for us, when we deal with someone that is in with addiction, we use the system called RISE. And RISE is an acronym that has 4 letters, so it's easier to understand than 12 or any other amounts of letters. And R is recognizing pattern, I is identity, S is structure, and E is engage in healthy challenges. So, and we talked about all of those steps, but not in specific ways, just earlier when I was explaining my life. R is recognizing patterns. So I recognize all the patterns that are in my life. If, say, at every night at 2 a.m, I'm scrolling through my phone, there's a high propensity that I will indulge in pornography if it is 2 a.m. So I will recognize that pattern and then change it or shift it or create a certain structure behind it. I is identity, and I talked about the identity in Jesus Christ, or your identity as a Christian man. For all the people that are not Christian, well, your identity might be in other in something else, and that's up to them. For us, we are a nonprofit organization that has a Christian foundation, so definitely we will talk about Jesus at our centers and in all of our training. S is the structure, so creating that structure to not relapse as much as possible based on your identity, based on all of the patterns that you've recognized that are specific to you. And then E is engage in healthy challenges. So again, based on growth, you must be challenged all the time. You're a man, and for the majority of men right now out there, we are, as Chris said, quite complacent.
Right.
So we try to we are the society in throughout all of history that is the most comfortable in all of history. You look at it, and we don't even have to look too far. How long has it been that we have showers, clean water that I can just turn on the tap and it's warm water going right on my body and taking showers? That's not too long ago. And you start asking to grandparents and seeing, well, what about ironing your clothes? Well, now it's an electric cord that goes and plugs into the wall. And your grandparents, anyway, my grandparents, it was an iron that you put on the stove, and you had to warm up the stove with a hot fire, and then you had to iron your clothes. What about women and period? Right? They were not even allowed to wear, or they were not even having tampons. Not even 100 years ago. Right. So again, those are all very, very comfortable scenarios that we have. So we've removed these challenges so much in our lives, and we've become so much more sedentary than back then, that now we have to implement these challenges. And a lot of guys are not having the right set of values and not engaging in healthy challenges. So there are unhealthy challenges. How many beers can I drink in 1 minute? That is an unhealthy challenge, by the way.
Depends what bar you're at, you know.
Yeah. In the bars that beer tastes like water, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I think in AA, they talk about outer circle like behavior for that. So it's kind of engaging in things that make you feel really good to help you through whatever it is that you're going through, right? And, you know, whether that's exercising or painting or, you know, like you said, just getting away from the phone and setting it, you know, being on the couch, whatever, is super important.
Yeah, and making it those healthy challenges. And
yeah. So JD, this is my last question, rapid fire round. You ready? It's a cheat day. What are you eating?
Burgers.
Yep. Double patties with bacon, or
Oh yeah, with ice cream. Yeah,
with ice cream. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Any pre-race rituals?
Praying.
Yeah. Weirdest thing that's happened to you during a race?
I got hit by a truck during Ultraman Canada, and I kept on doing it, and I finished 4th in the race. So I thought that would stop my race completely, but no, I just wiped the blood, patch my bike with some electrical tape, you know, be a man. And I looked at the organizer. I said, I have 200 kilometers left of cycling. Can I finish? And he looked at me and he said, okay, well, you look fine to me. Yeah, we'll see how it is. And he told my crew to keep following me. And I did end up finishing the race. But yeah, I got hit by a truck. So did you
actually get hit by the front of the truck and like bounced off?
Yeah, so I was, light is green, and I'm cycling towards the light, and I'm almost there. The truck goes in front of me, cuts me because he wants to turn right, and by the time he's at that point, I don't even have time to go left or to go right. So I hit the back of the cab, and then I flew in the air. So I was in the four-way stoplight. I was in the middle of the road, just laying back,
God.
and I was more sad that all my gels were in my back pocket, and then they all popped because I fell on the ground. So, not that I was bleeding, but at $4 a gel, I was.
Now you're all sticky and wet and all this stuff, dude.
Right? Oh,
Right?
should have
Wow.
changed
And
my
you came in
shirt.
4th. That is amazing.
Yeah, no, I was really focused. I wanted to finish that race. It was my first Ultraman, so really somewhat of a baptismal of the
Yeah.
Ultra. Yeah.
And that was in Ontario, right?
It was Penticton. So Ultraman
Penticton.
Canada is in Penticton. Yeah, it's one of the qualifier for Ultraman World Championship.
And it's coming up in September.
Yeah, it's coming up very
isn't
soon
it?
for sure.
Yeah. Are you going in that?
No. I'm
No.
yeah, I'm still looking for some challenges.
Okay.
But right now I have other challenges. So business, fundraising. We have other challenges other than these races because I don't want to diminish any of the races out there, but at the moment they're all achievable to what to my standard, and I want another challenge. That's what I want. Yeah.
Got it, man. Happy hunting.
Yeah.
If you could race anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I've already done all of the races that I really wanted to do. Yeah, I had on my list. It's funny that you say that. I looked at it this week.
Did you?
And I've already done like Israel, like Ultraman Israel, so swimming, biking, and running all of Israel. That was on my bucket list.
Wow.
Germany was on my bucket list as well. So right now, the one that is left, and we're looking into it, is Thailand. So that's where I would like to race in Thailand. So we're looking into it actually this week. So that's funny.
I love Thailand, so go for it.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll see each other there.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, text me. I'll see if I can meet you. My family wants to go down there, so I've been, thinking about it.
Okay, so maybe you'll crew for me then.
That would be amazing. That
All
would
right.
be amazing. Anytime. Favorite running shoe?
Saucony.
Saucony.
Yeah, Saucony. Yeah, for sure. I have. There's the Triumph that I don't have. Otherwise, I have every single pair of Saucony they came out with for the last 4 years.
Okay.
5 years. Oh, at least 4 or 5 years. I have every single pair there is from Saucony. So yeah, for me it works. I've tried every single pair. So yes, or every single brand that is out there that is in Canada and America. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, for me it's Saucony.
Have you ever had to change your shoes like mid-race because they just get ripped off or damaged or anything?
Not because they got ripped off, but at Ultraman Canada, it was my first Ultra, and I tried the Vaporfly in the first 42K, and then I changed shoes to go with the Saucony that would be more in a trail because the road was stopping being it was not asphalt, it was gravel. So I switched my shoes middle of the race because of that, and I just wanted to try, and I don't know if that was I think it was a mistake because it was a mistake because I got passed by the second one when I changed my shoes. I took my time, changed my socks, and really took my time. I did a phenomenal time, but I shouldn't have changed my shoes. I should have started just with the Saucony, and that's it. Yeah.
I'm just stuck with it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song?
Favorite song? Yes. Battle Belongs. Yeah, the battle belongs to you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Love that.
I listened to that song in Hawaii. It means so much to me because I remember it was pouring rain. I think it was on the second island, Kauai. and it was really pouring at night, and I had a speaker, and I was listening to "The Battle Belongs to God," and I was cruising, pouring rain at night. Cars were passing. I could not even see anything, but I was just putting my faith into God that I would finish that race. Yeah.
I
So
love
that song
that.
really means a lot to me because every time that sometimes it goes south a bit, or I think I just understand and remember that the battle belongs to Him.
I have Californication by the Chili Peppers, and I listen to that song every morning in Australia when I woke up, and my tent overlooked the ocean. And every time I hear that song, I put myself right there, and it always makes me happy. Doesn't matter what's going on, but it just makes me right centered. I love it.
Yeah.
Last question, my friend. Cutest thing your son has made for you at school?
At school. Okay, so, well, when he was with me, he was homeschooled. And I told him to go play in the woods. And he built this elaborate fort. And he was 10 years old. Not even, no. 8 or 9? 8 or
Yeah.
9 years old. And he built this elaborate fort. And then he said, "Well, Dad, you like hunting, and I caught a bird." And I said, "Well, what are you doing? You caught a bird. Like, what do you do?" And so he had a rope, and the bird went through the rope and got tangled up, so he caught a.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my son is quite creative. So he built a really elaborate. It was big. It was big, and all with spare parts that he found in the garbage, and he started building this. So that's what my son did at school. That was really memorable for me. Yeah.
I love that. Was the bird still alive? Was it okay?
Yeah. It was caught on the leg.
Okay.
So my understanding is he flew, and he tried to maybe land on the rope and got all tangled up with his leg. And so I just untangled it, put him on the side, did a little natural splint for him so that it can break off whenever he wants. But we left it on the side, fed him some worms, and then he flew off. As long as it was not the wings, then I'm fine. So.
Man.
Yeah.
JD, the time has gone by way too quick, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do the podcast. It's been an absolute honor to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for having me.
Please tell everyone where they can find you and support your charities.
Yeah, hungrywarrioracademy.com. And our charity is at Impact. So I am pact.hungrywarrioracademy.com.
I love that. Thank you again, JD. Thank you for reaching out. Love talking to you, and I hope to be in touch.
For sure. We'll see each other in Thailand.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Wow, what an incredible athlete in person. JD, thanks again for agreeing to be on the show. Merci. Man, I just love doing these podcasts and getting to play these awesome songs for you every 3 weeks. This one is another diamond I found. Here is STARMILK, who hails from Denver, Colorado, with his beautiful R&B track, Songbirds Like Secrets of the Cage. Check this out.
Star milk flowing through me, cosmic child, set me free. This is my prayer. I've been floating in the dark so long, forgot the words to my own song. Body keeping memories I can't see, but my soul knows I was meant to be free. River underneath keeps flowing on, even when my hope feels gone. DNA humming frequencies of light. Help me remember I was born to shine bright. This is my prayer to the universe. Wash away the pain, wash away the hurt. I was always the light, always the glow. Help me remember what I already know. Star milk breath, fill my lungs. Ancient melodies, cosmic songs. Womb of the world, I was safe inside. Before I learned how to run and hide. Sacred geometry spinning around my crown. Apple tree wisdom never let me down. Shadow and flame dancing as one. This is my prayer until the day is done. This is my prayer to the universe. Wash away the pain, wash away the hurt. I was always the light, always the glow. Help me remember what I already know. Star milk breath, fill my lungs. Ancient melodies, cosmic songs. Maybe the wound was just preparing. Maybe the was just declaring how bright the light can really be when it remembers it's free. Yeah. This is my prayer to the cosmos above. Teach me to remember that I am loved. I was always the orchard, always the seed, everything the world could ever need. Star milk prayer, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. This is my prayer.
What an amazing, fresh and new talent he is. Reminds me of the old greats of soul like Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Nat King Cole, artists like that. That was Songbirds like The Secrets of the Cage by STARMILK. I just find myself smiling and singing along every time I hear that song. What about you? What do you guys think of that track? Send me a message and let me know. I encourage you to go down a rabbit hole and explore more of STARMILK's music. You'll find a link in the show page. Thanks again to JD Tremblay for agreeing to be on the podcast. You can find out more about JD and the incredible work he and his team are doing in the links below. Plus, you'll find ways to purchase his book or enroll in a free consult with the Hungry Warrior Academy. Start your journey of rediscovery today. Thanks again for tuning in. Shout out to my listeners in Finland. Hi, which is hello in Finnish, in case you were wondering. I hope you have a great day. And if you're listening to this in the evening, have a good night. New episodes of the Stand Up Podcast come out every 3 weeks. Remember to hit that follow button and comment below. Be kind to each other. Bye for now.